Thanks for being with us on Point. KUMBA Iron Ore has released their interim results and their CEO Themba Mkhwanazi joins me via Skype. Thanks so much for your time on SABC News. KUMBA Iron Ore share price at around 5-year high. Some good news in the middle of the COVID-19 doom and gloom.
Thank you, Mzinga. It does very much show that we are a resilient business. We are capital efficient, and we're very much well positioned to be able to take on whatever circumstances that present us. And clearly, COVID has really been the challenge for us. But I'm very happy to say, though, that these results do demonstrate that we're a resilient business.
All right, let's talk about how COVID has impacted on production and whether this was in line with your COVID-adjusted projections.
Yeah, so COVID has had about a 13% impact in terms of our sales and about a 11% impact in terms of our production. What we did, though, very early on was that we recognized that from a response perspective, we had to have a holistic view around how we deal with COVID, meaning essentially that our strategy, which is very much a we care strategy, is very much around recognizing that whatever we do to fight against COVID has to be not just within the mine gate, but outside of the mine gate. So it's an integrated, community-based response. So we clearly, after having shut down, we've ramped up safely. We've also had to divert some of our products to China as markets in Europe have gone into lockdown. We've also put in place some capital preservation measures. But all of this would not have been possible without the collaboration of our stakeholders, government, unions, communities, and also our peers.
All right. So you repeatedly describe KUMBA Iron Ore as resilient, and you've attributed this in part to the previous challenges that the company has faced. Take us through those.
We clearly went through a phase where iron ore prices and commodity prices in general were at an all-time low. And this was the period of around the end of 2015, beginning of 2016. What that then necessitated was a response and a focus around improving our operational efficiencies, looking at our cost base, and doing things differently to make us more robust, to be able to withstand the fluctuations in the market. And clearly over the last 3 or 4 years, you've seen a significant improvement in terms of productivities. We're probably at double the levels that we were. From a cost-based perspective as well, we've saved significant costs. And this time around, we've just announced that we saved 700 million rands, and we've actually achieved 2.6 billion rand cost savings, well ahead of the 2022 targets that we had put in place. Also, from a market perspective, given the quality of our products, we are still able to realize average realized prices of around $93 a ton, which is well ahead of our peers, but also is in recognition for our second-to-none products.
All right, so you've got net cash of over 50 billion rand and attributable cash flow of around 7.1 billion rand. How are you expecting the Kapstevel South pit to add or change Kumba's business going forward?
So the net cash is actually around about 15 billion rand, but after the payment of today's dividend, it's likely at a pro forma level to be at around 7 billion rand. We're very excited about the Kapstevel South project because this project ensures that we sustain the jobs and livelihoods of our Kolomela operations. There's about 6,000 plus minus direct and indirect jobs at our Kolomela operation, which actually makes up about 35% of the economic activity in the Tsantsabani municipality. So Kapstevel South ensures that we maintain the current levels of production for the next 13 years, which is essentially the life of mine of Kolomela. The other great thing about Kapstevel South as well is that it's the opportunity for us from a future smart mining to include some of the technologies that we currently have, like the automated drilling, focus on digitization and remote control rooms. And again, that brings a skills upliftment in terms of our employees, but also for our contractors and suppliers in terms of their participation in the project.
CEO of KUMBA Iron Ore, Themba Mkhwanazi, thanks so much for your time on SABC News, joining me there via Zoom to discuss the interim results.